Hello and welcome to the East Lampeter Township Public Meeting. All participants are now informed that this meeting is being recorded. This meeting is also being offered virtually utilizing Zoom, which is a cloud-based platform for remote video and audio conferencing. The Zoom application is free to the public. The general public is therefore able to join the meeting by connection through the internet or by calling in by phone. The public is also able to observe the meeting on the Township's YouTube channel. Please continue to check the Township website calendar for any updates related to these public meetings. Agendas for these public meetings will also be available on the Township's website. Please be reminded that this meeting is being video and audio recorded and will be posted to the Township's YouTube channel for viewing. The meeting will now proceed with the chairman calling the meeting to order and identifying all other members present in the meeting room and those joining the meeting via Zoom. The chairman will then confirm those members joining by Zoom can be heard.
I'm Jim Eberhard, chairperson of the East Lampeter Township Park Board, and we have the following members here in attendance: Frank Hollingsworth, Chris Cretan, Diane Tyson, and Bruce Hess. And we also have Township Manager. There he is. Val Hutchinson, Tara Hitchens.
Tara's manager now.
The new Township Manager. Charles Thomas, Director of Public Works, and Lisa Cleveland, our Director of Recreation, right? Did I get that right? Okay, good. So let's pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Everyone had a chance to read the minutes from the last meeting. That would be May 28th. Yes. Okay. Do I hear a second? Okay. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Motion's carried. All right. Public concerns and or comments? Doesn't look as if we have any, and we don't have anybody tuning in. Okay. All right. Good. Our reports, grounds, buildings, and trails.
Normal maintenance. I mean, we're in the middle of it, so maybe next month we'll have an update for the ranks of the pavilions. But the guys are over it. Of course, not in this heat, but yeah, things are all smooth.
Excellent. East Lampeter Township Recreation Program. Lisa, would you, I don't know, is there anything we'd like to put in here at all? I mean, you have a ton of things to talk about.
So our system that we use to track register accounts is up to 408 accounts that we've created so far. So with the new newsletter, usually we see a spike after that. Dream big would be 500 if we get to that point. We'll see how many accounts we get at that point. But then, we are able to communicate with those individuals. They've expressed an interest and get the word out a little bit more easily for that. Community garden seems to be going well. They've got 12 12 plots out there. Things are growing. I know there was a groundhog in the area, but hopefully it's not eating too much. The fitness programs, we have the chair yoga that's been continual. I've seen, a pretty good amount of followers that are coming to that. We're going to start a new session with that. Same thing with yoga in the park. We're going to start a new session with that. July 10th for chair yoga will be the next session, and July 8th will be the yoga in the park. Movie night, we had June the 13th. Alliance did a great job. They made sure no one went away hungry. Alliance Towing provided hamburgers and hot dogs, all the fixings, provided the movie and the popcorn. We saw about 50 people at that. And we'll have upcoming movies then, 2 more scheduled at this point. So our playground's in full swing. I've been over there this week, and we have 40 registered kids, and average we've seen about 30 a day. Except for today, I think after 2 days of the heat, some of the kids, took a little bit of break today. We had 21. But, so far they've seen the bookmobile last week, Ravens Ridge Wildlife. We planted a pollinator garden for Pollinator Week yesterday. So things are going well there too. And then goat yoga got rained out, so it'll be held July 23rd. So if you know anybody who might be interested in doing goat yoga, we're going to have it on July the 23rd at 7 p.m. Like Chair mentioned that last month, the 2 programs that we're partnering with the Attorney General's office, Pennsylvania Attorney General's, scam prevention for seniors, and then how to protect yourself against identity theft. Good way to get those people in out of the heat as well by doing it in the afternoon. So we're partnering with Manchester Parks for a night with fireflies, July 17th from 8:30 to 9:30. So I thought it sounded like a cool thing that you could do with your kids and, get out to the parks and find fireflies. And then we're doing a Mill Creek exploration on August the 10th. That's a Sunday from 2:30 to 3:30 at Gibbons Park at Knowlton Mill. So they'll have one of their naturalists come and help us run those programs. And August 27th, the night at Explore the Night Sky, migratory bird walk at Community Park in September, on the 14th. And then the grant that we applied for America 250 celebration was not accepted. They, I guess they had a lot of people who applied for that grant, and we weren't selected. Did you mention T-Mobile last time?
Okay.
But please do it. Okay. We applied for the T-Mobile grant for a community program and for the pavilion at Lafayette, and it was accepted either. And to me, that's it.
I guess that's part of the deal, which is that you apply, and if you don't get it, you apply somewhere.
They win. Definitely.
That's right, yeah. Apply, you know, it's one thing for sure.
And with T-Mobile, something that I realized after the fact is they do this quarterly, so, and it's up to $50,000. So if there's something that we see down the road that's within that, $50,000, we can, apply whichever quarter is available.
Somebody like that be interested in, since they're in the communications business, would they be interested in sponsoring like Wi-Fi for the parks or something? I mean, it's right here. That's right in wheels. And
You go up there, I go up there and sit in the pavilion and work, right? I think I could.
just looking for free lunch.
Yeah.
Well, there's broadband everywhere. So all the communication people competing for territory that they're going to serve for broadband. So that's coming everywhere in the coming years.
Wow.
So it's probably better that we ask early than late.
Not up to us. It's all handled through federal and state regulators.
Yeah, and I just put the America 250 and American Heritage Pathway in there because I read in the minutes that there were some things there, but I think you have updated us there. So
I missed one thing. So there's a company that does bus trips in the area, and they were looking for another location to do bus trips from. And so we booked one for December 13th, yeah, the second weekend in December, to leave from here on a Saturday and to go to New York City. And one of those, you get there, kind of New York City on your own, you come back in the evening. And then the second one is in March. I feel like it's the 26th, but it's in March. And we're gonna go to DC for the Cherry Blossom Festival. And this is one of those trips where they take you, drop you off, and you do a riverboat luncheon on the Potomac so that you can see the cherry blossoms and all. Then you return to the bus and then they'll drive you around some of the sites in DC. So it's probably more friendly for those that can't get out on their own and do that kind of walking.
Good. Cool. That's great.
I have to say that pathway, the Heritage Pathway was beautiful this spring. The flowers were just breathtaking. I mean, it was a pleasant walk to walk down there, and it was just very nice how everything filled in, you know. First,
Fine.
yeah, it was walking on the path. It's just really felt like you were almost at Longwood.
Wow. Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it.
That thing with the Lafayette, is that this year or next year? They're going that thing, or is that already passed? I missed it. Lafayette, they're gonna have that thing for Lafayette up at the.
It's coming.
No,
That's this year.
July 20th.
There's something in the Penny Saver about what's going to happen at one of the houses. They're gonna have a musical. You have to pay to attend and play music of the Lafayette era. And that's
in town.
yes, in town. That was in town.
Yeah. All right. Okay, wow. Well, certainly it's been a lot of activity, that's for sure. That's great, that's great. It's great. I mean, one of the things we want to do is I think we want to, probably, you know, I don't know, what you're planning for the township newsletter, but sometime probably, maybe at the end of the summer, we'll just do a recap. I think it'd be kind of nice to do a recap of all the things that have happened and, you know, that'd be kind of great. And, so that people know that, you know, what's happening and what the benefit is, you know, how many people are taking advantage of the programs and encourage more to take advantage of it. Okay. All right. So is there, any other old business?
I just, I'm sorry, go ahead. I talked to Charlie the other month when I saw him one time quick, asked about what's happening. We were gonna look into putting a privacy buffer between my house and the gardens there. I know Troy was working on getting different prices for different kinds of shrubbery, what his suggestions would be. I was wondering what's happened with that, making any progress towards that or what's going.
At this point, I thought we were gonna let it go for a year to see how everybody reacted to it. I think that was discussed back in April, March. Just to see how things went. So I thought that's where that was tabled.
Have there been any issues?
It's certainly be lovely times and people, you know, I'm just coming out of the yard, just 2 ways, like sit there and watch whatever do in the yard. You know, I still like to have something there. Personally, I think, you know, something should happen to be thinking ahead of what we're going to do. Is the pavilion still progressing? Unfortunately, I missed a few months. Pavilion still progressing over at
And Lafayette, yes.
the buffer, but I guess I think about putting something in there too. Is that the plan?
We didn't plan on putting anything there, not at the pavilion.
Thought there was a plan to put something probably over there. There's property too, isn't it?
Was that in conjunction with, basketball over at, Florey, but I don't.
Pavilion is solely on the township.
It is, but you know, you're moving into the property there in the area and you're going to have guys going to have all these people in his backyard. Just like all the people there.
To install a seat
fence or if he deems it's necessary.
Yeah, I spoke with him a couple weeks ago, let him know it was coming, and he said, "Oh, it sounds good."
I think the area that's closest to where the pavilion would be has been farmed. He's been farming that area, so, you know, there might be.
Is that what's farmed there? Is that township property? Where the wheat field is? Or is that a farm?
No, that's the,
It's a slower track.
They're all. I didn't. Because I thought it was going to be, what it seemed to appear to be or something, which is what it was going to be. That was still glory ground. The wheat farm, like.
well, this is the Lafayette Tower. Well, I'm trying to say it's not really in his backyard. It's next to the area that they cultivate.
I just like to keep in consideration putting a privacy buffer up next to me there, because it's getting, the junkie isn't one of all the plots is right next to my side door there. I think, wow, they're just like me and you right here working and stuff, and it's kind of invasive, I think.
I think we provided information on the cost.
I'd have to go back through records. Yeah, I think,
Meeting, but
I think it was in March, we came back with the number of what it would cost.
Unfortunately, I missed those.
And I just thought we were table until next year to see how everything went, if there were any issues.
I think we looked at the number and said, let's see how it goes.
I did have one thing on their own business. We did have the Gibbons Park Order Week. Had about 35 people show up. Got a couple slides available. I'll send the rest out. Some of the ones could get over into the file, send it out there. Should be on there. Yeah. Yeah, everybody met at Gibbons Park. Of course, they had about 5 or 6 people get in the water with the person with the electrodes, and probably 6 children there, under 12. They raised their questions and everybody got involved. There was a good conversation. Conservation District, Lancaster Conservancy handed out trees if you want to plant, and then you got to get a barcode and record it, and then they know where they were planted, and then you report it in a year. I took one and planted in my house. Rabbits started eating it first, but got that taken care of.
So they get a report back of fish health and all that stuff.
They were fish, the size of the fish. I'll send them one out. The girl was holding 2 or 3 kids with their hands on it. It was very nice. But nice size sucker. They did pull out about an 8-inch smallmouth bass. Got some pictures, but there's probably about 12 more pictures that I didn't get loaded. I'll get them sent out.
Newsletters and somewhere else I read that about the fish were bigger this year than they were the other year.
Yep, Mill Creek, crew there.
yeah, it's the Mill Creek conservation.
They had their speaker there. About the projects that are trying to clean things up. But yeah, they were good turning. And that's where they're in the water. Up the stream, you can walk along the stream bank. They just said, don't get in the water. Because they all had, so if you were in the water, you would get shot. But yeah, the fish would come up, they'd scoop them up, the nets, put them in a bucket. Then they brought them over to the shore. They were measuring some of them, throwing them right back in the water. And when they were throwing them back in, they were tossing them. They said what happens is they get the air as soon as they hit, instead of dragging them back and forth across the water, this kind of shell shots them right back into breathing again. But yeah, there were 6 of them in the water. It was pretty interesting. But I'll send some more pictures. I think that's all I had loaded in the file. Get pictures out. If you have any questions about it. I did talk about how we developed down there. It's just very, well. It's a new
out in the future, we're looking at what we can do down. So we did get credits for it, just for public education for this event. That's all I had.
One other thing that, cut you, obviously, I'm sorry about that. But they said about down at Community Park extending the fence at the park, was that for baseball? A couple of months ago, you talked about it, I was in there about.
They extend the fence from where
Yeah.
their benches are, say dugouts there, to protect any of the standard. That's going to be totally burden. That is probably in their budget this year, but they usually pay for
Different rules and schedule.
yeah, the spectators sit along the fence so they can see home plate and they try to protect it.
So played any game back there, probably that's why maybe they preventing.
I guess they've been practicing up there.
Some, yeah, they've seen them for a while, but you know,
But I think the league's over now. Fall will start back up probably in mid-August.
they really can't play games with that fence. So.
They weren't playing games. It's just for.
Fencing. And that should be, it was over Tower Park, Little League takes it in.
Yeah.
Take care of it, so it's-
That one's set up for softball, right?
I mean,
The one there is set up for, at Hobson is set up for softball or is that baseball?
it's set up for softball, but they were bringing in, I guess, fake mounts. Because Little League has mounts flat.
Be hyper technical, but it's not Little League anymore.
Yeah.
Not the baseball division.
Change names.
Well, Little League has a whole different set of operation.
Grass and field.
Yeah, they sure do. Yeah. Any other old business? Okay,
I guess I would just mention that there's another presentation in front of the supervisors about the extension of the Heritage Pathway from where it ends at the end of Oak Grove out to Pitney Road at their last meeting. So that project is moving forward as well.
um. No other old business? Okay, new business? Anybody have anything they want to bring up?
Just a quick question. The ordinance that was advertised in today's paper, it had something to do with recreation. I guess it was more with Rockville. I mean, or how does that affect, does that have any effect on the parks and the resources that would go to the parks? It would be, give them an overview of what it was.
Change in how the park and rec fee in lieu is calculated. And it's a subdivision and land development ordinance amendment that the board is moving forward at their July 14th meeting. They'll vote on it. What it does is it has provisions in there to allow credits for certain types of recreation that are provided on a developed property, a property that's being developed. It also allows for there to be credits for affordable housing developments. And it looks at the value of assessment for all properties except tax exempt and agricultural zoned. And then using the common level ratio gives us a fair market value. We look at that every year at this point. We weren't doing that previously, so that we have a per acre number that the developer could apply.
Okay.
And that's when this is only paid to the township when there's a developer that doesn't provide any recreation for public use.
The funds that the township does get from that requirement have to be used for either purchasing
park and recreation property or improving park and recreation property. And it has to be used within 3 years of receiving it.
Good. That's good. Good to know. Okay, anything else? Anybody was there any other, we don't do business, any other new business? Okay, and we don't have any more, we still don't have anybody tuned in?
I guess I'll make one comment as a member of the soon-to-be public. This will be my last meeting here with you as part of the township staff. So just want to thank the park board for the opportunity to work with you over the years and all the other park board members that served over that period of time. And I think a lot was accomplished over the years in parks and recreation. So I think everybody should feel good about that. And I'm not going anywhere far, so hopefully we'll see everybody somewhere around the community.
Thank you. And I guess on behalf of the board, I don't know, you all feel free to have it, but on behalf of the board, man, you carried us through so many times. It's like, it was always, you were here to answer our questions and it's been very, we've always appreciated the wealth of knowledge and your willingness to help. So on behalf of the board, I want to thank you for all you've done for us and look forward to working with Tara in the future. You're here. A wonderful retirement.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about? Okay. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.